you.
Grace and peace, family. Grace and peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. My hotel. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. This is your sister with the curly braids, Vicki Dillard, and I am here on my own channel at vickidillard.tv. Here on YouTube, beloved, or you can directly connect with me at vickidillard.tv. That's vickidillard.tv, VICKI Dillard.tv, beloved. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to let my Instagram family know that we're over here as well. So I'm going to give them just a second to pop on in. For those of you that are coming in on Instagram, glad to see you, Instagram. Come on in, YouTube family. It's so good to see you. It's been a few days, but family, on the count of three, I have a little bit of a ritual. You all know that. On the count of three, for those of you that haven't, come on in and give us a big thumbs up, thumbs up. We ask that you do that early in the broadcast because it helps to notify other folks. And how many of you all know the broadcasts like mine aren't backed by billions of dollars and access from the powers that shouldn't be from all over the world? Talk back to me, somebody. So when you intentionally share, that helps to cause our message from the Black grassroots, aka BGR, to reach more people. Yes. So that's the reason why we asked you to do that early on. On the count of three, for those of you that haven't, let's hit that thumbs up button. And wherever you might be watching me, this or replay, share, 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 share. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, 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 share. Hey, Instagram. Hey, YouTube. By the way, family, if you're watching me on YouTube, you can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. That's VICKIX Dillard. And of course, Instagram, you want to be sure to follow me on my YouTube channel at vickidillard.tv. I know some of you all are used to seeing me from other platforms that I help to bring great credibility, prestige, and profit to over the years. But if you want to watch me live, beloved, come on over here on my personal platform at vickidillard.tv. Thank you so very much. I'm so pleased that you're with me today. Now, family, certainly you all know very much, of course, by the title of this, whenever you come in, that I'm going to be discussing Donald Trump, the alleged assassination of Donald Trump. And so we're going to just call it assassination, but there are a lot of things that happen around it, which I will not specifically get into right now. I want to tell you why I'm even discussing this at this point. The moment it happened, the day that it happened, I did not immediately speak on it. About the next day or so, I began to do Instagram posts and other social media posts just to have you consider a few things. Now, one of the things that you got to understand about me is that I always explain, which your modern scientists and your modern quantum physicists, your modern so-called experts are now admitting what our ancients have known and what we have known for many, many years. And that is, everything you see came from everything that you can't see. Talk black to me, somebody. Somebody say, duh. But some of you, once science proves it, or once you can be logical about something, you feel relieved, which, it just don't go right. Don't go there, Vicki. It's not a sign of intelligence because you're a logician. It's not a sign of intelligence that you can quote what the news people are saying. That's not breakthrough right there. Okay? Everything you see came from everything you can't see. Did you hear what I said? I said everything you see came from everything that you can't see. So even what you see is nothing but the immaterial hardened into material. So what we call physical is really just a spiritual in a type of crystallized form. Talk black to me, somebody. Now, this is important to understand, and I'm trying to relieve some of you that only think and perceive and come to conclusions based on stuff that you see with your eyes and hear with your ears. The stuff that can be manipulated. Talk black to me, somebody. Easily. What I want you to understand, beloved, is that if everything you see came from everything you can't see, you would be wise to start to master the unseen so that you're able to have greater agency over what you see in the 3D. Did you hear what I said right there? Doesn't it just make sense? Louise, your Cash App is blessed 1,000-fold. My badges from Stuns on Instagram, your gift, beloved, is blessed 1,000-fold. Did y'all hear what I said? So it's imperative. It doesn't matter if you're religious. It does not matter if you consider yourself to be something super spiritual or not. Without spirit, you are a dead man or a dead woman walking. How many of you all know that the moment you lose your pulse, it doesn't matter how young you are, and for some of you, some of your body parts and some of your organs, you know that can't be all of who you are because sometimes your organs are given to somebody else. Talk back to me after you out of here. So the thing that animates you is spirit. Talk black to me, somebody. That unseen part of you is what you must become more acquainted with, because it's practitioners of the unseen that's giving advice, wisdom, and guidance to the powers that shouldn't be. And there are different kinds of spiritual forces. And so sometimes you look up and you wonder why something is going on. But the unseen realms are able to manipulate you because you're stuck in a matrix. And you despise and you mock that which you don't understand. And certainly that which you don't know how to activate and utilize. Talk black to me, somebody. I'm emphasizing this point because what took place recently here, July 13th, with this assassination attempt on Donald Trump, brings a lot of things to the table. Now, before this took place, I was recently announcing the fact that I'm getting ready to do another free webinar on a very auspicious celestial date that's called Lionsgate. Now, other people do whatever they do on that date. I can't speak to what they got going on. Talk black to me. What I can tell you is what I'm called to do in the high-powered war room session I'm going to be conducting. Signs and wonders always follow my work. I've done a back-to-back 2-part series, Armageddon 1 and Armageddon 2. And Armageddon 2 was only available for those that are students in the Vicki Dillard Mystery School. So if you want to go to my website and join, you would be wise to do so. It's very low cost. And the information that I provide is causing signs and wonders to be manifested in the lives of those of my students. And more importantly, I am preparing a new breed of folk to be spiritually fit so that we can become the new world rulers, because the world that we're in now, beloved, is certainly coming to an end. And we get to and are going to constantly the origin of power. Talk black to me, somebody. Now, in my upcoming webinar, by the way, the link is above. And if you're watching me on Instagram, if you put an 8 in the chat, I have my team send you the link directly. So Instagram, only Instagram. Instagram, if you put the number 8 in the chat, I have my team send you the link directly. It's a free webinar. You want to tell you, your family, friends, and loved ones about it, because everybody needs to be tapped into this. Now, why am I calling this a war room session? There are some things that I can't talk about online, like me getting into some of the details and the connection between what I'm going to discuss on August 8th and this Donald Trump assassination. How many of you all know that there is an unseen government at work in the world? I said, how many of you all know that there is an unseen government that's at work in the world? When I was recently in Washington, D.C., speaking at a reparations rally, it was very powerful. Thousands of folks showed up from all over the country. We was just a few steps, a little ways from the White House, making our requests known directly there in Washington, D.C. on behalf of our royal bloodline, our ancestors. Talk black to me, somebody. How many of you all know? And then before that, a couple months before that, I had a direct encounter with presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy. How many of you all knew about that? Some of those clips are on my YouTube page under one of the video sections. And some of those clips are also on my Instagram page. They're on other parts of social media as well. But if you want to watch some of the clips, it was quite powerful. When I specifically and unequivocally made it very clear to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whose father was assassinated. So before this thing with Trump on July 13th, I specifically talked to Robert F. Kennedy about that, and I invoked actually his lineage. Don't play with me. That's right, Brother Carl. You said you were there at the reparations rally. I got your wonderful CD. So many of you were giving me gifts when I was running out. The security was real tight, so I wasn't able to take a whole bunch of pictures, beloved. But I'm so grateful for you as well, beloved. But listen, one of the things that I talked to Robert F. Kennedy about, and I made clear, I invoked some of his lineage. Because some of you all don't understand. Because Robert F. Kennedy is against reparations. He's trying to play coy now with it and play these games talking about how the Supreme Court outlawed it and made it illegal. Fool, are you out of your mind? Congress is a place that makes laws. You can create a law to do whatever needs to be done. Even in the wake of the Supreme Court coming down with a godless rule to talk about how you can't make certain decisions based on race. But I emphasize to him not race, but lineage. What some of you all don't understand is that Robert F. Kennedy's family that he's come from, y'all ain't ready for this. And it's no disrespect to his father that was assassinated, who was running for president, but also to his uncle who was president and was assassinated. The Kennedys were not initially about civil rights. Some of us could actually make the case that they were just like they mammies and daddies. God, today had no particular love or affinity or affection for black folks. Let's keep it real up in here. They were the run-of-the-mill white American. The same way some of you all are running around here talking about Abraham Lincoln, talking about because he freed us from slavery. Let me tell you something. Abraham Lincoln, the records reflect, and one of many records, I believe it's called Forced into Glory. I will talk about this over the years. Abraham Lincoln is on record also, the one that signed the Emancipation Proclamation. He's on record as saying that if he could keep America intact without freeing the slaves, he would do that. What's wrong with y'all? Many of the folks in the North were not non-racist. They were bona fide certified racists. To the degree that most of them did not want slavery, it is because they were jealous of the Southerners, silly. It was only a little small handful of them little Quaker types, white folks that just really for real, just didn't believe in slavery and knew it was wrong. But majority of America in the North and the South were vehemently anti-black and racist. That's who y'all are. You just some devils, racists and stuff. Lincoln was concerned that he would not be able to keep the Union intact. So as a political move for political expediency, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which nowadays is tantamount to like an executive order the president would do. The Northerners were jealous of the Southerners because the Southerners had a whole bunch of slaves and they were rich. And also the slaves, the enslavers, the Southern enslavers, were also utilizing their numbers with slaves to increase their representation in Congress. So they were able to wield extraordinary political power, and they were wealthy. The North didn't like that. Talk black to me, somebody. America was not, out of the kindness of her heart, decided to wake up one day and do what's right because it's in her to do what's right. We had to blow up and tear up stuff. We had to have Denmark VC and stuff and Nat Turner. They had to come at night and in the day. And Nat Turner was a preacher. But Nat Turner connected the dots. He said the Philistines, the ones that we supposed to slay, is this white man. He said, this is the Lord's doing. And it's marvelous in our eyes. For those of you that don't know, that's a scripture from the Psalms, funny looking self. When they messed with Nat Turner's wife, he got the revelation that you the devil. You're the enemy. He realized the devil is not some unseen. It's this funny looking man that smell and look funny. He said, you the devil. So Nat Turner said, in the name of Jesus, I'm going to come and just ashes to ashes and dust to dust is what I'm going to do. He said, this is the Lord's will. This is the God's will. That's the God he believed in. You see. The moment they, and I'm talking about this also based on the rendition of, what is the name of our brother's movie? Nate Parker's movie. Nate Parker's movie. Birth of a Nation. Not the original white supremacist one. Our brother was smart enough to call it the opposite one, the revolutionary Birth of a Nation. That's a revolutionary one. In his rendition, he shows us that Nat Turner got a revelation when they assaulted his wife, physically and apparently sexually assaulted his wife. He looked and got, that was a revelation. That was his trance. That's when he ascended into another dimension and said, hell no, I'm OKILL, y'all. Talk black to me. Somebody get Earth out of my chat with that Trump stuff. And Trump too is a devil. Trump's daddy and them is a white supremacist. He's a white supremacist. They all they devils. Biden is a white supremacist. Talk black to me. That's y'all. So black folks had to tear up stuff, blow up stuff. And they had to use your uncivilized means in order to get somewhere. That's the reason why they want us to sing hymns and talk about some we shall overcome and talk about nonviolence. Now, the reason why I brought these things up, because one of the things I quoted to Robert F. Kennedy, and I did a different type of quote also when I was in Washington, D.C. at the reparations rally recently in June. One of the things that I quoted, your gifts are blessed 1,000-fold, Instagram. And also your cash apps, whoever's doing that, thank you so much. And any of you that might be giving here in the chat on YouTube, your gifts are blessed 1,000-fold. Listen, I read a quote from one of your former, those of you that consider to be your founding mothers and fathers of this country, which y'all know who is the founding mothers and fathers of this country. It's us, Black Americans, who built and created the country, fool. The people that y'all revere are pedophiles and racists and criminals. But I digress. Keep going, Vicki. One of the things that I quoted was one of your founding fathers who said that he fears for his country, that God is just. And he went on to talk about how he understood that there would be a level of karma that was going to come on the country for their original sin with what they did to us. I had to quote them. And one of the things he said in one of his quotes, because he said the same thing in different ways on a couple of different occasions, that's found in some of his journals, his writings. He said, even by, watch this, supernatural interference, God today. supernatural interference. I said your original founding fathers, those pedophiles, those murderers, those killers, the uncivilized criminals that y'all brag about that started the country. That's in writing. Did y'all hear what I said? I said that's in writing. He said he feared for his country, that God is just about America's original sin, which is us. The oppression of the black man and woman. He said, even by, and this is a quote, supernatural interference. So y'all better ask yourself, if the folks who are responsible for our oppression, that stole the land from the original black American Indians, who stole the bodies and labor of those, some of us that were taken from the continent of Africa and brought here and enslaved. If they said from the beginning, they know they in trouble. And they said they understood it, even if it took some years to happen. I got something on my chin. Even if it took some years to happen. They said that God is just. And some of them practice different kinds of divination and spiritual practices. Y'all know that, right? Family, if they knew that, you better get on board to understand what's really going on. He understood that there was an unseen force that was even in the beginning. That them little dirty, little dusty, little nasty, little pedophiles, some little nasty, little dirty, little musty, little criminals and killers and stuff. They knew that there was also an unseen force that was working with them, that was at war with us. Snake, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Now, it's YouTube, it's a whole lot more y'all in here than those of you that hit that thumbs up button. I know I got a lot of haters and stuff that need instruction, which is why they tune in and stuff. But the rest of y'all, hit that thumbs up button, share on the count of 3. Everybody, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share. Get this off my chin. Now watch this. If your original founding mothers and fathers said that they knew that God was just, and that even by supernatural interference that they knew that they would have to pay and receive judgment for what they did to us, you better consider that when you see these folks running around here talking about Donald Trump and this assassination attempt. Now, you all know I'm not about to run out here right now and give details on this. This is the stuff I'm going to talk about in my August 8th free webinar. The link is in the chat, YouTube. So YouTube, hit that free link and register today while you can. Because I haven't decided yet whether or not we're going to put a limit on it, because every time we increase the limit like we did last time, because it was so many people that registered, and then it was like 1,000 folks that showed up for that free webinar, I'm going to cut it off. So it may be less this time, to where I tell my team, no, we're not taking more than X number of people. Your gift is blessed. Your badge is blessed, Tanisha, 1,000-fold. So why am I bringing that up? Your founding fathers, they're a disgusting self, were working with invisible energies. And this is on record. This ain't no spooky stuff that Vicki done made up. He said it, and I quoted it to Robert F. Kennedy recently. And then I quoted it all over Washington, D.C. when I was there. The unseen realm will use scandalous tools. Y'all don't understand this, though. Let me say that again. While you sit up here talking about what's moral and right and just and right and wrong, you don't really understand the spiritual realm, baby. They lied to you, which is why you still sit here waiting for Jesus 2,000 years later and turn the other cheek from your enemies that slay your children and your family right before your eyes, while you sit up there talking about, I forgive them, before your loved one is even buried. I had to hit the gavel on that. Talk back to me, somebody. Cousins, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold on Instagram. I want y'all to get ready to come over here on YouTube, because I'm getting ready to put this I'm getting ready to click off on Instagram, but Instagram, if you want to attend my free webinar on Lionsgate. Lionsgate is a day where multiple celestial bodies are doing something very special, a divine dance, which means that we get to convene with them. Y'all ain't hearing me today. It's too deep for y'all. There's another dimension that's up to something. So the reason why I'm holding this on this auspicious day, which I have been urged to do by the Spirit, I'm going to accomplish something with you in a spiritual war room with them. I'm going to expose some stuff that's interrelated to this Trump assassination on July 13. And I'm going to explain to you how Trump's dirty, little, nasty, little, racist, little punk self is a part of the plan. And Spirit will use a dirty, little, nasty, little punk tool like Trump to accomplish its ends. But some of you don't understand that some of your ancestors are involved in this. How many of you all know some of you that are familiar with the Quran? Somebody correct me on this. Does the Quran not say that yes, the adversary, the enemy plans? I'm paraphrasing, but I think that specific quote is actually related to a certain group of Jewish folks. But I'm gonna leave that alone. But that's what the book say, the Quran. Am I right? That the enemy plans. But it says that Allah plans, and it says, indeed, Allah is the best of planners. Am I right? Somebody correct me. I stand to be corrected. Does it say something like that? I just said that I was paraphrasing it. Does it say something like that? Does the Quran say that Allah, which Allah just means God, family, that's Arabic. Talk black to me. Does it say he's the best of planners? What am I trying to say? When it looks like the other side is actually winning, the divine realm is playing them. There's a higher level of planning that's going on. And I'm just wondering, are you at the table where the planning is going on? Somebody say Vicki's situation room. Somebody say you better be at Vicki's war room. If you're watching me on Instagram to get the link, hit the letter, the number 8 in Instagram. If you're on Instagram, only Instagram. If you're watching me on Instagram, hit the number 8 and my team will send you the link automatically. Somebody just asked me who I'm voting for. That's not a good question to be asking me right now. I'm holding a high-level political spiritual meeting come August 8th. That's where you need to be at to find out what I'm talking about government-wise and how we getting ready to move to ship-shape the planet. What you need to be asking yourself is, how do we exert power? And I started the broadcast off telling you how. Everything you see comes from everything you can't see. There's a higher level of planning. There's a sacred desk, a sacred altar where plans are being made that impacts this realm. The question is, do we have anything to do with that? The question is, does Vicki have credibility to speak on this? The question is, has Vicki tapped into that dimension in that realm to know something about this? So I'm going to discuss a lot of these details offline August 8th, which is known as the Lionsgate Portal. And I'm going to be talking to you, beloved, about how you can turn your house into a headquarters. And guess what else I'm going to be talking about? Instagram, put the number 8 in there if you have it. And those of you that are watching me on YouTube, all you need to do is click that link and that free registration link above. This is my offering to you. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I tell people all the time that if you're not tapped into the unseen realm, you'll misread what's happening on earth. See, a lot of people that's talking right now that look like they right, they don't be. Not about what matters. When you're not tapped into the unseen, you will misread the signs on earth. People that have participated in my previous webinars I post their comments. I post their testimonials. When I'm on other platforms, I post comments. I post testimonials. It's not even possible for me to keep up with all the comments and the testimonials. That's just what happens with my work. It's a validation and a trademark for who I am, for what I am. That's too much for y'all to hear right there. And for who I'm connected with, the divine host and the divine counsel. And I'm trying to put you on game by giving you this free offering so that I can discuss some of the details, because there's some stuff we ought not say right now. And then there are some places we ought not say it on. Did y'all hear what I said right there? So if you're on YouTube, click the link that's pinned above. If you're watching the YouTube, once it uploads, it should be pinned in the comment section. If you're watching me on Instagram, you just put the number 8 and my team will automatically send you the link. Or Instagram, if for whatever reason there's a glitch or something that you don't get it, Instagram, all you need to do is click the link in my bio on Instagram. Now watch this. Your so-called original founding mothers and fathers said that God is just and that even the divine would use supernatural interference to hold them accountable. There would be a judgment day for what they did to us. So Black family, who are you that they should have been worried in the beginning? But they still utilized that time to mistreat us, even though that they knew this was happening. Watch this. Do you all know? Some of them actually tried to bend and outrun prophecy. This is too much for some of y'all. Because some of y'all be sitting up here talking about so-and-so is the last prophet, or so-and-so is the last prophecy. And if I get to talking about the Bible, and if Vicki gets to talking about the Bible in a way that you don't like, you get upset. But beloved, I'm willing to go to Mount Carmel. I'm willing to have this spiritual contest with you because I know whose I am. And watch this. I will prophesy over that book. God, today. How many of you all have ever been in a court proceeding? And how many of you all have ever heard a phrase by one of the counselors to say, objection, Your Honor? And then it would be the judge's decision whether or not to do what? To say sustained, which means maintained, or what? Overruled up in this mug. Y'all ain't ready for that. You ain't ready for that high level information about how to create prophecy and divine scripture, and how these modern devils are actually trying to outrun it and pimp it. And they're using rituals, and you are a part of the ritual to play you, to affect what you see with your eyes, because you don't really know how this matrix or this womb works. Whoever just asked about the link is above in the chat. Where are my moderators? I see some of my moderators. Miles, please help me out and repost the link in the comments, beloved. Family, we got over 1,600 plus people and only 800 thumbs up. The devil is a lie. You mean to tell me we got double haters in the chat, which I know Vicki got some haters around this piece. But you come to nothing. God, today, I know y'all just be like that and stuff. Some of you all ain't really ready to rule and run the world. Some of you are not ready for that sacrifice. Some of you are not ready for that level of information. So you can go. But this divine classified information are for those who's ready for this. I am woke. I don't want to hear no vote Joe Biden either. Don't come up in here pushing either one of them. You're missing the point. You need to have this inside information, which is why I'm doing a free offering with absolutely no obligation attached to it. My webinars go from $39, $49 to $144 to $157. That's the cheap low side. That's the middle all right side. I know what I bring to the table. Thank you, my brother Cool Kesey, for putting the link, the Zoom link. He just reposted the Zoom link in the chat. It's also pinned, family. It's free. Get in while you fit in before I decide to cut it off, because we had so many that registered. And last time we had more than that registered. Some of you all that didn't get to see it, you were upset. But those that showed up was almost 1,000 people. I'm telling you, I may cut it off at a few hundred, because this is going to be intense. And there's a special ritual that's going to be done for the attendance for special breakthrough. Now we're going to be discussing, yes, political and geopolitical information, but I'm going to specifically be talking to you and giving you information that I received so that you can turn, are y'all ready for this? Your houses into divine portals. How to turn your house into divine headquarters. How many of you all attended some of my previous ancestors webinars? How many of you all attended my last ancestor webinar that I did with Brother Rod Hayes, where I was specifically talking about how the Vatican, the original Vatican, was actually stolen from Black prophetesses, and how there's not one major religious group that did not get directly or indirectly some of their rituals and some of their rites from these Black women. Talk black to me, somebody. I'm going to explain to you why the modern world sought to destroy them and enslave them, including some of their own brethren. And I'm going to explain to you that it was not because they were a president. It was not because they were a king. Some of them were queens, but that wasn't the main reason. What gave them extraordinary power to where world leaders would come to them before they made decisions. How many of y'all seen, real quick, I'm making a point here. How many of y'all seen that preview, little clips of Denzel Washington getting ready to be in Gladiator 2? I'm going somewhere with this. It's all connected to what I'm talking about. How many of y'all seen that clip where Denzel Washington is getting ready to star in Gladiator 2? How many of y'all know about Hannibal, the great Black warrior? How many of y'all know about the Black Carthagins? Y'all ain't ready. Watch this. Do y'all know that I've been talking about these ancient Black sibyls? That those were the specific areas where they wielded power, including what the movie that Denzel Washington is in about the gladiators and stuff related to the region. How many of y'all know about this notion of Helen of Troy and all those areas and regions? First of all, y'all know Helen of Troy was a Black woman. Y'all know that wasn't that white lady. How many of you all know that we populated some of those very areas before the white skin, the Dorian, the European types, before they came in those regions, that we populated the planet? Why is Vicki bringing this up? There is a sacred secret to the creation, the authority of the United States of America. Ancient Rome, Vatican City, which is also known as the Holy See, St. Peter's Basilica, the original sacerdotal seat, was from our Black ancient mothers and fathers, specifically our Black ancient mothers. But a part of their rule and reign included the priesthood, Black men as well. They weren't tripping off of gender stuff. Y'all came up with that. So if I'm going to be talking to you on a very auspicious celestial day known as Lionsgate 8/8, August 8th, on that same day where I told you that the celestial realm is going to be engaged in a war room proceeding, we're going to be holding a session with them as well. Click the link. If you're watching me on YouTube, the free link. This is a free webinar, August 8th. Don't you miss it. I don't care what you're doing. I don't even stay up that late, family, but I'm doing this in the evening so that many of you can come. So when you get off of work, that's right, the Sibyls. Absolutely, beloved. Whoever talked about the Black Madonna, I missed somebody saying that. Yes, all of that is connected to what I'm saying. You got it. This is important because it's not just about spiritual power. The reason they destroyed, are y'all ready? These Black women was because their power exceeded every sphere. It included every sphere. And so because their guidance and their wisdom and their magic, it was stolen, they were enslaved, they were persecuted, because many were jealous of them, because they were able to tap into dimensions that caused them to effectively, watch this, rule the world. World leaders didn't make major moves without coming to them. War generals didn't make major moves without coming to them. They guided their villages. Talk black to me. Melanin, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Who said congratulations? Your very kind gift is blessed 1,000-fold, beloved. So I'm going to be talking to us about that original Vatican seat and how we're going to turn our houses into a headquarters. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready for this information? I'm going to be giving you practical information because how many of you all know, those of you that think voting is everything, those of you that sit up here, I'm going to vote Trump, I'm going to vote Biden, get your funny looking self out my face. Peace and love, said Vicki, you are reincarnated. The Empress speaks, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. She said, talk black to me, sis. I'm talking black to you, beloved. That's my sister right there. Listen. Tropical Punch, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Tropical Punch has been a long time supporter. Midge here says, I'm black. Fam from Holland. My Holland family is in the building. Family, you all have no idea. Years ago, when I did my first webinar on my own, I always made a whole lot of money and did a whole lot of collaborations with everybody but myself. I'd never, ever done an event, including my previous spiritual school, without giving control and authority over it to other folks and people and networks. When I did my first Ancestors webinar, solo, do you all know 7 countries attended, including the United States? And double that during my second one. So see, the powers that shouldn't be, the reason why they try to hate on me, try to shut me down on different folks' platforms doing weird little stuff. They don't, you be doing too much power moves and stuff. And I was talking to them about spiritual power. Let me tell you something. You all don't understand where power really comes from. When I'm talking to you about on August 8th about turn your house into a headquarters, turning your home into a portal, you're going to understand how it ain't the White House that's running everything, beloved. Y'all ain't ready for that. Some of you be in here talking to me about the deep state, which, yes, there are elements of that, and I will refer to that from time to time. Some of you in here love to talk to me about other types of secret societies and stuff. Some of you talk about things that you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Some of you talk about the modern Illuminati, which there's a real Illuminati out there. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that when I'm calling a high council meeting and our divine ancestors are attending, other celestial beings are attending, I don't want you to sit up here and talk to me about no other secret society or no other assembly, because there is nothing greater. But you haven't seen your ancestors like that. That's because you didn't know where power originally stemmed. And that's because the powers that shouldn't be wanted it to be that way. Family, we got a whole lot of more people up in here that's hitting that thumbs up button. Everybody hit that thumbs up button. Share, share, share. Thumbs up, share, share, share. And I bring you receipts in no limit of time. And the stuff that I speak about is confirmed in society, in day-to-day life. Talk black to me, somebody. Hey, Hashim, that's my brother right there. He said, talk that talk, queen. So everybody, if you are watching me on Instagram, put the number 8 in the chat if you want the direct link, and my team will send it to you. Or even if you watch me on Instagram, there's a link in the bio on Instagram to where you can register for free for August 8th. Do not miss this. I don't care if you're working late that day. I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you're doing 2, 3, 4 jobs. This has to do with how we're going to bring about protection and power for us and our household. Oh, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into the sacred secrets that they don't want you to know. If you're watching me on YouTube or if you're watching the YouTube replay, beloved, register for free for August 8th, 2024. Do not miss it. That's a very auspicious day. You can tell just with the numerical combination, right? And even we're in the year of 8. So not only is it going to be on the 8th month and the 8th day, we're in the 8th year. That's all about power. So if you're watching me on YouTube or the replay on YouTube, beloved, you just register for free with the pin link in the chat or the pin link in the comment section. Yes. And shout out to our moderators. They show putting the link in right directly in the chat live. Instagram, I want you to get ready to come on over to YouTube because I want to read something. I want to say something else to you really quick. And really, I've been on here way longer than I'm supposed to be on Instagram. YouTube, let me say this. I'm going to speak in greater detail about this Trump stuff August 8th. Don't get upset because you want somebody to scratch your itch to have some information that you probably shouldn't right now. There's a whole lot of folks that's saying a whole lot of things. And it's their right to say it, but it don't mean everybody ought to be speaking on this. Besides that, what I'm going to say is going to be a different vantage point. That's why I came to you to tell you, I'm going to tell you what's up for real. I had already had this plan before July 13th. But I'm a woman of the world because I'm the black woman. I'm the original woman. So the whole world is mine. Why am I saying that right now? How many of you all know that July 13th was the anniversary of our dear sister, Sandra Bland, who was lynched in a Texas jail cell? Folks who are ignorant might say, well, what they got to do? Is she as important as Trump? Oh, you foolish one. You don't get it. And I know you don't get it, which is why I got to break down this to you offline. How many of you all know that our sister, Sandra Bland, this black woman, was lynched in a Texas prison on July 13th, excuse me. How many of you all know that a Hamas commander, that Israel tried to assassinate another high-level Hamas commander on July 13th, the same day? See, y'all, I got to put y'all on game. I'm not going to be sitting up here talking about Trump's funny-looking self only. Spirit will use him as a dirty tool to accomplish its ends. The question is, do you know what the end is? And do you know how to play your role? YouTube, somebody put an 8 in YouTube. YouTube, don't put an 8 in YouTube. YouTube, if you want to register for free, you click the link in YouTube. Only if you're watching me on Instagram do you put the number 8. How many of you all know that the Russian foreign ministry spokesperson on July 13th went to the podium to announce fresh new assassination attempts against Vladimir Putin? Frank, stop putting the number 8 in the YouTube. Frank, click the link to register for free on YouTube. Only you put the number 8 for Instagram. Did you all know that all that was happening around the world on the same day? How many of you all know, some of you that have attended my spiritual courses before, I broke down to you a revelation Spirit gave to me almost 20 years ago about Russia and Ukraine. And so the war that we see happening with them, and if you was with me with my brothers, Red and Blue Pillar, recently when I did When in Rome, oh my God, wasn't it off the chain, y'all? Y'all know I broke down who the hell them Ukrainians are. Somebody say, shh. I broke down the connection of the Ukrainians and the Israelis connected to some of us who are foundational Black Americans here in the United States. Y'all ain't ready for that connection. Some of y'all don't even know who these Ukrainian folks are around this piece. You got these funny looking knuckleheads around here calling us anti-Semitic, talking about anti-Semitism is on the rise, but you got all of them Jews and America willing to send hundreds of billions of dollars to a Ukraine whose army has swastikas. Won't you talk to me about nothing? I'm not talking about the time of Hitler, fool. I'm talking about right here and right now. Your very Black taxpayer dollars are there supporting so-called soldiers that's running around as declared Nazis, fool. Y'all don't even know who them folks are. I broke down to you all. Didn't I break down to y'all When in Rome, when I did it with my brothers Blue and Red Pill during their event recently? Didn't I tell y'all who them folks are? Did I tell y'all their direct lineage? See, these names throw you off. And country, Ukraine, Russia, what we got to do with why I'm talking about Vladimir? You don't. That's why you need to come to the offline stuff so you'll understand the connection, silly. How many of you all knew all this took place on that same day? Instagram, I gotta go. Instagram, come on over to YouTube at VickiDillard.tv. And Instagram, if you want to attend my free webinar, where I'm going to break it down in our secret offline webinar, we're going to be talking about the Lionsgate portal, how to turn your house into a portal, where I'm going to be breaking down where power really comes from. You don't want to miss this. Put the number 8 in the chat, Instagram, or click the link in my bio. I can't wait to see you again, Instagram. Okay, I'm going to click off my Instagram page. And now, YouTube. YouTube. Where you at, YouTube? We here. YouTube. I'm going to ask y'all again, because we got more people in here than we have these thumbs up. If you would be so kind, beloved. Remember, I told you that when you do that, you make it more likely that other folks will know that we're here. It notifies others when you do that. We don't just want to be spectators, right? So everybody, please hit that thumbs up button. Share, share, share. We're almost done, beloved. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. So family, yes, I'm going to intentionally keep a lot of this offline, because there's a lot of convoluted information that's out there right now that we're going to have to sort through. Talk back to me, somebody. And you want this from a metaphysical, high-level perspective. Yes? And you want some practical information also about what we need to do in order to shape the power energies that's at work in our world. Talk black to me, somebody. Is that right? Now, some of you all don't understand how powerful that reparations rally was. The stuff that you see and playing out as it relates to presidential candidates, and particularly a part of my agenda, some of you all don't even understand. When you see something go on and how this is directly connected to our petition and the blood of our ancestors and the judgment that this country is under right now. Your gift is blessed, sister, with our eyes. She's talking about the Ukrainians. Yes, beloved. You already know, beloved. Talk black to me, somebody. So listen, I need you all to understand. Why is it that some of you all didn't know that this was going on in other parts of the world? I want you all to understand that it's a much larger situation. Now, let me tell you something. Am I saying that each and every one of those forces, including the ones that are responsible for the lynching and the murder of our sister Sandra Bland some years ago on July 13th, the same day? I'm trying to get you to understand that there are multiple spiritual countries and energies and beings that wield a level of power. And some of those energies are still at work here in the earth. But you don't know how they're working. And some of us feel like that we're fated and destined for catastrophe. And some of you all don't even know that there's a level of birthright, black man and black woman in particular, that you have. But you are not executing the powers that comes with the divine trust associated with your royal bloodline. Instead, you mock stuff that you don't understand. And you only entertain things that you can absorb with your regular eyes and those two appendages on the side of your ears. And that's how you will forever be easily manipulated. Talk black to me. Tolan said that the great Mississippi Queen, Ashe, beloved. Thank you, precious. So because there's an inheritance, there's a right that you wield that's beyond voting. Do you all know that when you illegitimately participate in a system that is illegit because it's doing nothing for you, it's only because your participation in the system, the energy that you put around it, that's actually keeping the dead thing on life support? I just said something right there. How many of you all know that it's really a dead thing? But your energy and your spiritual inheritance is what's keeping it on life support. It's giving it another day. So the reason why the pressure is on you, black man and black woman, in a way that it's not on white folks, in a way that it's not on Hispanics, in a way that it's not on the LGBTQ community, on the way it's not on white women and other groups, is because only you carry this particular energy, and only you have this unique inheritance and birthright that you are not activating and executing. You are allowing them to do it. And you making mockery of something that you don't understand. And you're deciding to stay small with just being logical. Is what's keeping you stuck. I said a whole lot right there. There's some wild, thank you, whoever just got these devils out of here. Now, y'all know sometimes I actually let some of these devils hang out, and then I do with them what I will. God, today. But other times when folks see you mounted and you're executing power, that's when them demons, those modern devils, come out real crazy. And the demons and devils try to give credit for people that you don't even know or fool with or listen to. So that's why they try to tag you and talk to you, and they come in your comment section so that you know that they exist. Because they know otherwise you ain't paying them no attention. And then ninjas be jealous of your creativity and your divine connection. So family, if they believe in your power, you ought to believe in it. If these demons out here believe in Vicki Dillard's power, you ought to believe it. This be nonstop. They do other little weird stuff that I would never say in public because they think that that's going to give them some power and attention, and I refuse. I know my spiritual rank. Objection. Overruled. God, today. That's how I be doing it. So when them other avenues don't work, they come to get attention so you know they exist. But just only see that as proof of our power and our influence and their jealousy and their hatred. Ninjas be out here telling my stuff from Vicki. Ninja, I don't even know you exist. I don't be knowing you exist. I be trying to figure out the blocks, buttons and stuff. Weird little funny looking people and stuff. Ain't nobody studying you. You could never, on no day ever, at no time, on no day ever do, ever, never, ever. I am Vicki Dillard. You understand? You stay in your lane, figure out your word, do what you do. And I do mine. I'm not trying to be you. Who are you? I mean, forgive me for even asking that because I don't want to know. God, today. Talk black to me, somebody. Thumbs up, share. Do not miss August 8th, family. I'm going to cut it off because I'm not going to allow as many people to come as I did last time. Like I said, it was almost 1,000 people there and more than double that registered. And y'all was mad for those of you that thought you could look at the link later. Y'all was messaging and doing all kind of stuff. Talking about, please let us watch it. And we didn't all look. Get in early. Your seat for free while you can. And be sure to tell others about it. Because I'm going to be talking to you on Lionsgate about how you turn your house into a headquarters. Yes? Family. This is a different story because I'm going to go in greater detail there on this Trump stuff and more. I'm going to say what they don't want me to say here online. People that sit there bear witness to the magic of my word, they'll tell you, beloved, I get into great detail about them folks and who they really are and what they're really doing. And in this instance, what we're going to do about it. But I tell you who you really are. And you can only wield power when you know the origins of the power. Do you understand? How many of y'all heard, family, about this little sick, allegedly rich, white West Virginia couple that's accused of enslaving adopted Black children. How many of y'all heard about them? How many of y'all heard about this scary looking demons? Forgive me, I should have given the disclaimer so that you could get your babies out of the room. I'm sorry, family. I'm sorry. That's my bad. That's worse than nudity. That's worse than any form of profanity. This madness. I ask your forgiveness to have to show it to you. Cover your baby's eyes, family. It's a little bit of devastation right here. This couple, the piece says 2 West Virginia parents are awaiting trial on more than a dozen charges after adopting 4 Black children and allegedly using them for forced labor on their farm, court documents show. Slavery, family. Slavery. What y'all laughing at? Jean Whitefeather, 62, and Donald Lance, 63, who are both white, have been charged with human trafficking of children, civil rights violations, use of a minor child in forced labor, and child neglect, according to the 17-count indictment. Madison Tuck, assistant prosecuting attorney for Kanawha County, West Virginia, told CNN Wednesday that the trial is set to begin September 9th. Tuck said that the children are all safe, but declined to give further details about their location. Both of them have entered not guilty pleas, by the way, family. It says that Mark Plants, an attorney representing Whitefeather, told CNN that his client absolutely and emphatically denies the allegations. But it talks about what the indictment is saying was going on. It says that, according to the indictment, Akers, referencing the indictment, said it alleged that the children were, quote, targeted because of their race. We talking about they adopted them. They said they were targeted because of their race to be used as, quote, as basically slaves. That's part of the indictment, family. CNN obtained court documents related to the case, which began in October 2023, when the Sheriff's County deputies responded to a 911 call raising concerns about the children. The 911 caller reported that the children were, quote, made to do farm work and not allowed inside the house, according to a sworn statement from the deputy who responded to the call. The news release from the sheriff's office noted that the deputies had to force entry into the barn, where they located a juvenile male and juvenile female locked inside of approximate 20 by 14-foot room. Y'all know I can't even say what. Vicki, please read. The children had no means to exit the barn on their own, no running water, no bathroom facilities, and were obviously deprived of adequate hygienic care and food. The female juvenile also stated she and her 14-year-old brother were not allowed inside the house. There were no accessible windows in the room or way for the children to exit. If there was a medical emergency or fire, the children would be unable to exit the locked room for safety, the statement said. When Whitefeather and Lance arrived hours later, the deputy wrote, when these 2 white folks arrived hours later, after the deputy was there, this is what he wrote, quote, Miss Whitefeather made the admission to the detective, Alford, that the children were left in the shed, but stated they, quote, like it. The detective, this wasn't no statement from even a regular witness. The detective said that's what they said when they finally arrived home hours later. An affidavit from a lieutenant in the sheriff's office indicated that the police encounter in October 2023 was preceded by 2 other concerns, 911 calls about the well-being of the children. Both callers in May and June 2023 told dispatchers that children living there were, quote, sleeping in the barn and using a portable toilet outside, according to the affidavit. Y'all, this is crazy. This is some crazy stuff. Miss Whitefeather told the deputies that people in the area don't like them and vehicles had been stopping on the roadway in front of their residence. This call was cleared with, quote, no police action necessary. A grand jury returned an indictment against Whitefeather and Lance in May that alleged, among other things, that the couple did, quote, knowingly and feloniously and willfully traffic a minor. And, quote, did recruit entice, and obtain the victim of the offense from a shelter and facility that serves runaway youth, children in foster care, the homeless, and victims of human trafficking, domestic violence, and sexual assault. Did y'all hear that? Now, family, I'm not going to go there right now. But y'all know Vicki is known for talking about these WKKKs around this month, which is the Women Ku Klux Klan, which is an auxiliary of the women's group for the Ku Klux Klan. Y'all know I have broke down to you and have given you receipts and facts. I've quoted from books. I've quoted excerpts from articles, all sorts of sources, including our dear sister who wrote the book. I even got this one on audio. And even though I prefer hardcover books, but I actually got this one on audio. They were her property. They were her property. All these different receipts. Let me turn it because y'all can't see that. Hold on. I want us to be clear who we're talking about. Who that? Who's that? Who's that, family? These white women are the ones who cause the Ku Klux Klan to be the most effective because they use society, they use education, they use religion to indoctrinate, to infiltrate white supremacy. In the book, They Were Her Property, where this sister talks about and takes actual statements and receipts and all kinds of evidence that she got, information from census and all kinds of stuff, where she broke down that in many cases, in some of the areas that she was in the particular location she was looking into census, 40% of the slaves were owned by white women. And even in parts of Mississippi, areas that I'm very familiar with, they talked about how white women would not even let their white husbands get in their business when certain slaves were bequeathed to them. They would even take their funny looking selves to court if they tried to contest the ownership of those slaves. Our sister break down in the book, it was the white women in many cases that were setting up the black woman to be raped by the white man, and for the black man to do that. It said the white woman was the one setting that up in many cases. Somebody said, I got my children listening and showing them the pics. I know that's right. You all need to get those sources and look into what I'm talking about. I'm bringing that up because it's not beyond the fact that this would be a couple, including this white lady, because they keep showing you who they are. And let me tell you something. The reason why we keep seeing resurgences of this kind of stuff happen is clearly in their blood. For at least some of them. I'm going to leave it alone. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit today, family. I got to run. I'm going to be updating you on some other different things. You do not want to miss how I'm going to go in to break down what's really going on with this Trump assassination attempt, July 13th, but not just him, other assassination attempts around the world that happened on the same day, or at least like in the Russian case, where their foreign minister took to the podium on that day to report recent assassination attempts on the same day. You don't want to miss this, as well as the Israelis trying to assassinate another high-ranking Hamas person. And before you jump to crazy conclusions on who Hamas is, make sure that you come to my event on the free event August 8th on the Lions Portal, where we're going to be talking about how to turn your house into a divine portal of power. And I'm going to break down important information that you need to know. Sis said, thank you for what you did in DC reparations video, hearing from our ancestors on reparations on site. Thank you, Precious. I received all kind of amazing testimonials and reports from people around of the country on how they were so moved by that speech. And of course, there were many other powerful speakers there as well. But I surely thank you all so much for that, family. We're going to be in touch. You don't want to miss. I know it's been a week, more than a week since I've been live, but you're going to be seeing me again very soon, beloved. So make sure you're subscribed here at VickiDillard.tv. Make sure you tell others to subscribe, receive all notifications, even though the notifications sometimes don't go out. But be sure to check back. This is where you can watch my live content Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. And be sure, family, don't miss my August 8th free webinar where we're going to be in the war room, beloved, on a very auspicious day. There's going to be very special prayers and rituals done that's going to surround you and your households so that you can activate and increase, beloved, divine power so that we can become and prepare for the new world rulers. We're the new world rulers, but prepare for the new world in which we're ruling. My name is Vicki Dillard, beloved. Thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all don't want to miss this. If you came in at the last minute or you came in midway, you want to watch this whole broadcast and be sure to share it, okay? I can't wait to see you again.